Welcome to another edition of Philly's Stat Line, your high-frequency explainer of the numbers moving the needle in Philadelphia sports. It's Saturday, July 18th, 2026, and man, we have got a fascinating midsummer sports rhythm going on right now that is just absolutely packed with crucial data points. Real quick, here is our docket for today. We're looking at 1. The Diamond, diving into some midsummer Phillies data. 2. The Desert, for Sixers Summer League action. 3. The Trenches, covering Eagles gridiron analytics. 4. The Ice, looking at peak off-season hockey conditioning. And 5. True Fandom, wrapping things up with some awesome Philly streetwear. All right, Section 1, The Diamond, Phillies midsummer data. So interim manager Don Mattingly and the team are actually locked in a 0-0 Saturday matinee chess match against the Mets right now as we speak, and it caps off a seriously volatile week. I mean, Friday the 10th started incredibly rough with a 10-2 blowout loss to the Tigers up in Detroit. But you've got to love the resilience this pitching staff showed over the weekend. Saturday, July 11th, they execute a brilliant 4-2 course correction win, and then Sunday the 12th, an absolute pitching clinic, a 5-0 shutout showcasing just flawless defensive positioning. But yeah, then they come back home to the bank on Thursday the 16th and immediately get ambushed by New York in a tough 4-1 series opening loss. When you look at the macro numbers, the margin for error in this division is razor thin. The Phils are sitting in second place with a 54-44 record. That is highly sustainable baseball. They are 10 full games over the 500 mark. Yet, this division race is tightening to a total knife's edge. They trail the first-place Braves by just 3 games, and they hold a very slim 2-game cushion over the surging Marlins in third. So, what does this all mean for Mattingly's staff? Well, the definitive metric they are tracking is stabilizing their performance at Citizens Bank Park. While they boast a super robust 29-22 mark on the road, their home record sits at a much tighter 25-22. They literally need to match that home field run differential with their road execution over the next 48 hours. Moving on to Section 2, The Desert, Sixers Summer League. Out in Vegas, new president of basketball operations Mike Gansey is getting his first true high-frequency look at his developmental floor. And really, all analytical eyes are squarely on their first-round pick. Tuesday night, July 14th, was a tough, highly physical, low-efficiency 90-64 loss to the Rockets, dropping the summer record to 2-1. But despite the team's glaring shooting struggles, 20-year-old guard Labaron Philon Junior was a massive statistical bright spot. In heavy usage minutes, he logged a team-high 17 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. His individual production just jumped right off the page. The data guys have very specific evaluation goals for these summer frames. They are meticulously tracking Philon's pick-and-roll pacing and deeply assessing his ability to distribute out of high-pressure double teams. Following a close battle with Minnesota, where the squad ran into a really hot shooting night from Tristan Newton, Gansey's staff is actively using these games to figure out which cost-controlled assets can provide high-efficiency bench depth. We need guys who can seamlessly support that newly formed core of Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Jaylen Brown. Okay, Section 3, The Trenches. Eagles gridiron analytics. The absolute quietest stretch of the NFL calendar is officially ticking down as the Eagles finalize logistics at the newly renamed Jefferson Health Training Complex. The countdown is totally on. Rookies and selected building pieces hit the field this coming Tuesday, July 21st. Then the full veteran roster rolls in on Tuesday, July 28th for the first official whistle of 2026 training camp. And speaking of the spring planning that got us here, the front office locked in a staggering $301.2 million salary cap structure. That's following the critical signings of first-round wideout Makai Lemon and massive tackle Mark Kubel. This financial blueprint basically sets the baseline execution tempo for the entire summer. Now, check out this highly disruptive metric, 121. That massive number represents 25-year-old Jalen Carter's career quarterback hits in the regular season alone, as he heads into his 4th NFL campaign. Senior defensive assistant Clint Hurt's interior unit is projected as the primary structural engine for the team this winter, and Carter's pressure rate is 100% the spark plug for that engine. And he is definitely not doing it alone. Carter, with his 108 career tackles and 13.5 sacks, is flanked by staggering physical force. Inside, you've got Jordan Davis, the 6'6", 336-pound anchor who just inked a fresh 3-year extension this spring after a highly impactful postseason run. On the perimeter, they're projecting high snap count volumes for new addition Jonathan Greenard, lining up opposite edge rusher Jalix Hunt. Remember, Hunt hit a rare franchise milestone last winter, leading the entire defensive unit in both sacks and interceptions. Talk about a terrifying, data-driven defensive foundation.
Up next, Section 4, the ice, peak off-season conditioning.
Over at the rink, the Flyers sports science department is pushing through the absolute peak of their physical conditioning calendar, and the energy around this team is just phenomenal right now. Following that remarkably inspiring 98-point run last year and their first second-round playoff appearance in over a decade, this young orange and black pipeline is highly motivated. Expectations have fundamentally shifted in Philadelphia. To meet those new expectations, they've implemented a super methodical off-season preparation plan. Step 1, meticulously map individual linear speed. Step 2, establish deep core power parameters. And Step 3, integrate it all to prepare for maximum transition volume. It is perfectly designed by the sports science team to ensure the roster can handle the immense physical load when rookie camp officially convenes this September. Finally, Section 5, True Fandom, Philly Streetwear. Look, the summer heat is peaking in the city, but as we all know, true Philly fandom never takes an off-season. Whether you are tracking live pitch counts at the bank, grading Philon's tape out in Vegas, or counting down the hours until the trenches collide at the Jefferson Health Training Complex, you got to rep your city in style. You can shop the latest identity-driven athletic gear and Philly-inspired designs by visiting inq.shop/product-category/Philly-streetwear. It's simply the best streetwear gear available to match your high-frequency fandom. So, the crucial point to take away from this explainer is that the numbers never lie, but it is entirely up to these teams to execute when the lights are actually on. With the Eagles training camp countdown in single digits, the Sixers Summer League data locking in, and the Phillies fighting for division ground as we speak, I want to leave you with this. Which Philly stat line do you think will definitively shape the rest of 2026? Think about that as we head into a thrilling fall sports season. Thanks for joining me today, and keep your eyes on the data.